I really want to thank the ranking member, Ms. Jayapal. This is so critically important for so many of us. We are enraged and disgusted by what the Trump administration is doing, and I want to start with that. So we're now 6 months into this administration's campaign to detain, deport, criminalize immigrants across this country. Trump, Noem, and Rubio continue to distort the law to justify abducting children, families, and innocent people. Their abuses are shocking, and we have U.S. citizens sent to foreign prisons. We are seeing attempts to terminate the foundational principle of birthright citizenship. And what strikes me the most, and other speakers have talked about this, is the psychological dimension of this terror campaign. This is about spreading fear. This is about insisting on silence. It is about consolidating power. We know, they know, and judges know that Trump's moves are violating the law. But Trump doesn't care and continues to ignore judicial orders. What he does care about is the message that these actions send. The message, be afraid and trust no one. We've seen this play out in my home state of Vermont. Illegal arrests designed to spread fear and uncertainty, deception by federal immigration officials to mislead people who are making an honest effort to comply with federal law. On April 14th, Mohsen Madawi, a green card holder and Vermont resident for over a decade, entered a local U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services office for what was supposed to be his last hearing, the last step in the process. And instead, he was arrested and detained by masked, hooded agents and taken in unmarked vehicles. It was all a setup, happening in our name. He was lured there under the guise of being there in his last step of the citizenship process. He followed all the rules, and yet it did not matter. Mohsen Madawi is like Mahmoud Khalil, another green card holder, who was snatched away in front of his pregnant wife and sent away to an ICE detention facility in Louisiana, hundreds of miles away from his family and home in New York. Again, it is about psychological torture. Make no mistake about this. And he is still being held unjustly. The same strategy plays out by sending people to prison camps in El Salvador. And yes, Mr. Balint, it is a gulag. By threatening to drop people into far-off countries that are experiencing instability and conflict, Trump is leaning in on fear. In response, we must lean on the strength of our communities. We have to stay faithful to the law and insist on due process for every person in this country. And I want to stress that wins can happen. A day after I led my colleagues in demanding Mohsen's release in front of the State Department, we were elated to hear that a federal judge in Vermont ordered his release on bail. I want to thank all the witnesses for taking time today. I'd like to put a question out to the group with the time that I have remaining. And I'll start with Ms. Guzman. What are the psychological impacts of disappearances, courthouse raids, and detention of children, and all the other cruelties that we are seeing on your clients and the people from your community?
The impact is huge. Once Trump was in office, I saw the difference in my work. I was getting almost daily calls from clients and their sponsors and family members of how do we safety plan? What if someone knocks on my door or takes my mom or takes my caregiver? What do I do? What if they take me? I have some clients who were over 18 and they were always asking me, what can I do? What can I go out and do? They stopped going to school. They stopped following a lot of the things that they were doing originally because of this fear that they were going to be targeted. They started getting bullied in school. I like the news of the young girl who committed suicide because she was being bullied about her parents and their status. I've had conversations like that with my clients. And I feel like my job as a lawyer just completely shifted. I no longer knew how to advise them what to do, and I sort of inherited a lot of those fears and lost a lot of sleep at night thinking I'm going to get a call that one of my clients was detained.
And I want to just acknowledge what you're saying, which is that the cruelty and the psychological torture is having an effect on all of you, and I hear that from my immigration attorneys in Vermont. And that also is part of the point, which is to demoralize you so that you can't show up fully for your clients. And I see that I'm out of time. Can't thank you enough for giving your time today. It's critically important that we speak out loudly and unrelentingly